This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel Strat-O-Matic Baseball EXCEL Game of the Week.
Welcome back, baseball fans, to the Game of the Week. In the 1978-81 Fall League, we got a American League North matchup between charter members Cleveland Indians and Detroit Tigers. And you know what? It's always good for these two franchises that they have been separated from the American League East, where they had to do battle with Baltimore and Boston and the Yankees, and now they're all in their own division with an expansion team and the Expos, and yeah, it should bode well for these two franchises to, really, have a war, Tigers and Indians, for dominance in this division. So what has happened in the first couple games of the series? Game 1 in Detroit. It is Gaylord Perry for the Tribe, Dave Rozema for the Tigers. That's a pretty clever game here. Bottom of the fourth, it's a 2-out, 2-run single by Bobby Valentine. In the top of the sixth, we get a 2-run single by Ron Hasse and a sac fly by Lee Lacy, and it's 3-2 Indians. Stays that way into the eighth. After an out, Gaylord Perry walks a couple guys. They go to the bullpen. They bring in a southpaw, Will McEnany, strikes the first guy out. But pinch hitter Tucker Ashford, who was in the San Diego system in AAA and was a bench player for the Tigers, comes through. A clutch 2-out, 2-run double. And the Tigers win 4-3. John Hiller picks up the save. Nice little outing for the Tigers, as they trail the Indians overall in the division. Indians are the first place club. Game number 2, it's Dennis Eckersley for the Tribe and Milt Wilcox for the Tigers. Another tight game. The way the teams scored the first runs is pretty similar. In the bottom of the third inning, the Tigers got a single, a walk, and a walk, and ended up scoring a couple runs with a bases loaded walk in there. Yeah. And then in the sixth inning, the Indians get 3 straight walks, a sac fly, and a double, and they tie the game at 2. So pretty much very similar methods of scoring a couple runs for each team. Eckersley completes 8 innings with just the 2 runs. Wilcox goes 9 innings with the 2 runs, so it's going to be a battle of bullpens. Out of the Tiger bullpen is Tom Niedenfuer, taken away from the Dodgers. Nice little bullpen that Tigers have with Niedenfuer there. Just give up a hit. For the Indians, Jerry Augustine comes in 2 1/3 innings, but a double by Lance Parrish and a single put runners on the corners with 1 out, and Bobby Valentine gets the bloop single to win the game 3-2 and a walk-off. 2 close, nail-biting wins for a Tiger team that needed these wins to get back into the race for this division. Let's take a look at the overall standings now. In the American League North. So it's tightening up here. The Indians were 11-3, they're now 11-5, as you can see. The Tigers are just a couple games back. The Expos, game and a half back. Nice Expo team, by the way. Kind of their era, from 78 to 81. That's when you should expect the best Expo historically. And the higher team has really been dismal this year. Look at that. But it is game 3 of a best-of-5 in Cleveland. Has to win this one at home, or we have a sweep for the Tigers. Today's starting pitchers for the Tigers: Pat Underwood. For them in 79, he was 6-4 with a 4.57 ERA. Probably better suited to be in the bullpen, as he's really good against lefties, as you could imagine, and not so much against righties. And for the Tribe, it's Rick Waite's best year, 13-15 with a 3.21 ERA in 230 innings in 1978. Couple lefties, Underwood and Waits. Should be a high-scoring affair, we think. Let's get started from Municipal Stadium in Clevetown, Ohio. Ron LaFleur leads it off. 3-6, single 1 to 6, and he misses it, rolls a 10. Bobby Valentine batting second now. 3-6, double 1 to 5, base hit. Allen have gun Will Trammell. 3-6 is a walk. 2 on. 1 out for Lance Parrish. 62. First C. We have runners in scoring position and 2 outs for Steve Kemp. 4-4 off of Waits. Center X. Oh, that's a black hole. That's Rick Manning, a 1E2. Yeah, you're not going to get on that. So, yeah. All right, we go to the bottom of the first inning. Leading off today, Glenn Borgman, a platoon catcher with a ton of walks on his card, so that's why he's leading off. He grounds to third. Miguel Delaney, 5'11", is a walk. He doesn't walk a lot, which is why he bats second. Hoping for fielder's choices and the rare walk off a pitcher's card, which he got. Delaney is going to steal a base. He's a double-A stealer. And he rolls a 7, he steals second. Toby Harrah, 112 strikeout plus injury. That is not good news. They lose their third baseman to an injury in the first. They'll move Frank Duffy over to third base. And they'll just have Dwayne Kuiper play second, with Dubzinski staying at short. Okay. 2 outs now for the newest kid in town, Joe Charbonneau. 67, single 1 to 16. He gets it. Runners on the corners. 2 outs. Andre Thornton. 49, second C. Well, top of 2 will be Tucker Ashford playing first base for the Tigers. 63, bounces to short. This is Dubzinski, a 3 shortstop, and he makes the play. Mike Anderson, 6'10", center X. Center field is, Rick Manning, the 1E2. You're out. And Vic Carrell getting a start, a designated hitter, taken away from some National League team, either the Reds or the Braves, can't remember which. Anyway, he's here with the Tigers backing up Lance Parrish. 69, flies to left field. Bottom of 2, Lee Lacy, 43, first X. This is Ashford. He is a 4E25 first base. That's going to be a double. That's what happens when you play out of position. You give up really bad defensive miscues like that. Frank Duffy, 55, center. Joey Dubzinski, 57's a K. And Rick Manning, 1-8, base hit in the right field. Lacy has wheels. 14, 15, 16. Anderson with a -2 arm. Makes it a 1 to 14 chance. And he rolls a 14 and slides in safely. A close play at the plate. But yeah, closer than it should have been, really. I was expecting Lacy to be a 15, 16, 17 runner or something like that. And it'll be Glenn Borgman again. 35, base hit to center field. And Delaney, 46, is a single to center field with 2 outs. So this is Manning. He's got wheels. 16, 17, 18, off of LaFleur. He will fit, thrown out on a 20. Oh my. Thrown out on a 20, a 118 runner. All right, we go to the third inning. It'll be A-Rod. 67, lines a third. LaFleur, 58, short X. Dubzinski's a 3 at short. E24, and he makes an error. Now LaFleur has wheels. Double-A stealer. He's going to try and steal a base, and he does. Runner at second for Bobby Valentine, 65 center. And Alan Trammell, 48, second X. This is the new second baseman, Kuiper. He makes the play. Bottom of the third, it's just 1-0. Indians put a double and 3 singles, only got 1 run out of that in the second inning. Toby Harrah. Actually, not Toby Harrah, Dwayne Kuiper for the injured Toby Harrah. 34, pops a second. Joe Charbonneau, let's take a look at the newest kid in town. The one-year wonder, the guy who opened beer bottles with his teeth, you know, the crazy summer of 1980 in Cleveland. Joe Charbonneau. It didn't last, but at least there was 1980. A fine card here. The pitch. Oh, let me give you the stats. 289 hitter with 23 home runs and about 500 plate appearances, so could not make it last. Joe Charbonneau, 412, flies to right. With 2 outs, Andre Thornton, 55, this guy's the center. Top of the 4th, 1-0 game. Lance Parrish, 311, pitcher. Steve Kemp, 310, K. Tucker Ashford, 38, is a K. Rick Waite sailing for this one. Lee Lacy, 37, double 1-2, fly ball. Frank Duffy, 47, is double 1-8 single, and it's a double. Jerry Dubzinski, 67, 1-16 for a single, and he gets it. Runners with the corners, 1 out. You got to bring it up for Manning. Don't want this thing to get away from him. Pop to second. And with 2 outs, it's Glenn Borgman. 311, fly ball to right field. All right, 1-zip into the 5th. Low scoring affair. All the games have been. Mike Anderson, 69, left. Vic Correll, 612, first C. And A-Rod, original A-Rod, 1-5, grounds to short. Well, 1-0 affair here in Cleveland. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, bottom of the 5th. Miguel Delaney leads it off. 46, base hit for the Double-A Steeler. Going to take off again, even though Parrish has a -2 arm. He's very aggressive. And he steals second base. It'll be Kuiper. 36 is a fly ball to right. Joe Charbonneau, dangerous against lefties. 1-4, misses the columnist, guys out. And with 2 outs, it's Andre Thornton. 2-9's a fly ball to left field. Briskly played affair in Cleveland. Just a 1-0 game. Both teams blowing opportunities. Well, the Indians blowing a bunch of opportunities here. They put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 men on in 5 innings. Just scored once. The Tigers just have only gotten 1 hit. And they go to the top of the Tiger lineup, the top of the 6th inning. It'll be Ron LaFleur. 112, grounds to short. Bobby Valentine, 410, pops to short. And Allen Have-Gun will tremble walks. 2 outs, man at first. Lance Parrish, 47's a walk. 2-1, 2 outs. Steve Kemp, 111, rolls to the pitcher. What a day for Rick Waite. It's a 1-hitter, 1-hit shutout. Bottom of the 6th. Underwood's a starter, 7. He's wormed his way off the hook selectively here. Has only 1 3-up and 3-down inning. But he'll pitch to the bottom of the Indian lineup, and we'll see what happens after that. Lee Lacy, 47, double 108 is a 2-base hit. Frank Duffy, 63, second X. This is not Whitaker who's on the bench. It's Valentine, the 421 second baseman, and that is an error. And that's what happens when you have a bad defensive players on the road in the game. Runners on the corners. Dubzinski is an A-bunter. Jerry DeBoo Dubzinski, 2-9. Short B, cuts it down at the plate. So, you've got first and second now with 1 out, and Rick Manning. 34 is a 4-6-3 double play. Pat Underwood has the magic wand for getting out of jams today. He has put 11 men on base, folks, and only 1 has scored. Cleveland, who is down 0-2 in this series, has just a 1-run lead, and yes, the Tigers could easily come back and get the sweep here. So this is a big couple of innings for Rick Waite. Top of the 7th. Tucker Ashford will lead off. 2-9. Let's take a look at this card. Tucker Ashford Padre card of 1978. Yeah, I mean, it's just a utility infielder, a 245 hitter. But he's got some nice power and homers on one side, some doubles on the other side, some walks. Wish he could play short just to give full versatility, but that's good enough. 2-9, double 1-15 is a 2-base hit. Now you've got Mike Anderson. 68 is a fly to right. No, he was a D-bunter, if you're wondering. Vic Correll, 47 is a walk, 2 on. Waits is a starter 8. He does not break in this inning, and he's hardly put any men on. And you got the, Wow, A-Rod at 265. Wow, that's amazing. 265 bat of Aurelio Rodriguez. Here's the pitch. 35. Let's take a look at original A-Rod. Wow. So, how many Gold Gloves would this dude have gotten if Brooks Robinson wasn't in the league? I mean, Clete Boyer have missed out on a lot of Gold Glove opportunities with Brooksy there in the American League. This particular A-Rod card, it's 265 and is a 1/6 third base. My goodness. And has plenty of power against lefties. 3-5 double to right field, and that will score the tie run, and Correll will be at third base. The infield comes up with 1 out, and waits. I don't think you can say he's run out of gas. He's just, yeah, he's going to continue. Just a 1-1 game. Infield is up for LaFleur. 38 is ground ball to short. So with the infield up, the runner has to hold. Now they move the infield back for Bobby Valentine. 57's a K. So Rick Waite survived that. It's a 1-1 game. Stretch time here in Cleveland. We have been enjoying the Pretenders. Chrissy Hine, I went back to Ohio. My city was gone. 1980 Pretenders first LP. Precious, Tattooed Love Boys, Stop Your Sobbing, Private Life, Brass in Pocket. Oh, that was the big hit, right? Throw that down there for you. All right, bottom of the 7th inning. Pat Underwood. I think, you know what? He's just such a vulnerable pitcher. And he gave you 6 innings and you got him off the hook. Let's get him out of there. He was going to get a loss, and now he can get a no decision. So they're going to go. They got a very good bullpen, by the way, the Tigers. They got Hiller, Mark Littell, Mickey Lulch in the bullpen now, Tom Niedenpure. They're going to go Mark Littell here in the 7th. Pitched for the Royals and the Cardinals during this timeline. Nice pitcher, Mark Littell. It'll be Glenn Bourgame. 6'10", short X, Tremmel. 1/16 at short. Next to play. Delaney looking to get on for the 4th time. 1-5. Let's take a look at the card, folks. Miguel Delaney's 1980 card. 341 and 550 plate appearances. That wasn't a fluke for that season, at least. That's a lot of plate appearances to be hitting 341. And yeah, hits at both. Yeah, what more do you want except the ability to throw? The only thing he didn't have in power. They could run, switch hitter, range of 2, but that plus 3 arms unsightly. Anyway, 1-5 is a double to center field. Now you have Dwayne Kuiper. 4-4 off Littell. Triple 1-7 is a base hit, and just like that, the Indians have taken the lead. 2-1. Joe Charbonneau. 5-10 is a strikeout. And with 2 outs, Andre Thornton. 1-7 is a K. But the Ohio, the kids from Ohio and our city was not gone. They came back and got our lead. 2-1. Defensively, the Indians are going to, well, they're just going to keep what they got. There's no big improvements anywhere. Yeah. 2-1 game into the 8th inning. Rick Waite's breaking inning has only had 1 questionable inning. Otherwise, he's sailed through this Tiger lineup. So it'll be Alan Tremmel leading off in the top of the 8th. 67 is a liner to 3rd. Lance Parrish, 1-4, grounds to 3rd, and with 2 outs, it's Steve Kemp. 44, center X, but this is Rick Manning, like I said, he's a 1-2. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. And actually, Littell will continue simply because, well, the Indians got all righties coming up. You know, he struck the last 2 guys out in the last inning, so he'll continue. It's a relief 2. Lee Lacy, 1-8, grounds are short. Frank Duffy, 2-3, lines a 3rd. Jerry DeBoobaboo, Dibzinski, 5-10. That's a strikeout. We'll go to the 9th of a 2-1 game. And before you ask, no, they're not going to let him go for the CG because the Indians have Jim Kern. Oh my, folks, at the back of their bullpen. Let's take a look at Jim Kern's card. He actually was a Texas Ranger in '79 with this card, 13-5, .57 ERA, 143 innings. Pitched for Cleveland and Texas, had some arm problems. Was able to extend his career, though, a few more years, surprisingly. He had a really bad 80, I think. This is a 79 card. He is the closer for the Indians. They need this. They're going to turn to him in the 9th inning. And with the Kern being announced, you're going to see a parade of left-handed pinch hitters here. Beginning with, we're going to go with Mike Jorgensen. Take a look at old Mike Jorgensen here. Always a good platoon player with outstanding skills at first base. Can walk and hit a home run for you. Either of those would greatly help the Tigers at this point. The pitch to Mike Jorgensen. 68 off Kern is a strikeout. And that brings up Mike Anderson. Or no, it doesn't. Batting for him. It's going to be Jay Johnstone. Let's take a look at Jay. Jay Johnstone, this is a 1980 card for the Dodgers. It's 307. He's in an outfield platoon with Mike Anderson. Pitch to Jay Johnstone. 53 is right X, and this is trouble because Lee Lacy's out there. He's a 4E10 defensively. And that he played that into a single. So Johnstone's at first as a 13 runner. And your batter's Vic Correll, or no it isn't, another pinch hitter, 3rd straight one. And of course this is going to be Sweet Lou Whitaker, the second baseman. So they have to replace first baseman, a right fielder, and a second baseman. And that's exactly the positions of the 3 pinch hitters. So Lou Whitaker with a runner at first and 1 out. The pitch to Lou Whitaker. 56 off of Kern is a K. And with 2 outs, can't quite get this thing back to the top. We have original A-Rod. Saw his card earlier. Can't hit a home run, but maybe he can extend this inning. The pitch to Aurelio Rodriguez. 48 off of Kern is a strikeout, and that is your 9th inning. And that is a win for Rick Waits, a save for Kern, and the reliever Mark Littell. That single double in the 7th is the difference of your ball game there. The Tigers cannot get a sweep of the Indians. All these games have been really close, low-scoring games. Jim Kern gets the save with a hit and 3 strikeouts in the 9th inning. But Rick Waits was the start of the day. 3 hits and a run. That was earned. 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. Littell has to take that loss. Really just 2 hits and a run. And aside of that, he had 3 strikeouts. Underwood got a really happy, he should be happy he got a no decision in this because he put 9 men on in 6 innings. Only 1 of them scored. With 1 walk and a couple strikeouts. 1019, 0108, 21114, 21114, 4615. Tigers put 8 men on base. The Tribe put 12 on, and they Tribe won. That kind of sort of happens a lot of the time. They won game 3, and the home team has won all 3 games. We'll take a look at the boxes for the 2 squads. See how year-to-date is coming along here. Both teams in pretty good shape, but the Indians are in better shape, of course. So the Tigers, with that loss, now fall to 10-9. They're hitting .264 with a .416 ERA. John Hiller is an excellent closer. They just can't get to him enough. The power is just not there for the Tigers. Nobody. They have a bunch of guys with 1 or 2 home runs, as in a bunch meaning 9 of them. But nobody has like more than that, which is weird. And yeah, that's just a little bit underachievement on the offense, because otherwise the pitching's doing a decent enough job. For Cleveland Indians, though, folks, 12-5, hitting .280 with a .335 ERA. And Jim Kern has 4 saves with an ERA of 1 through 9 innings. Rick Waits now is 4-1. How about that? Rick Waits, nice performance. They're also not getting a lot of homers. They have Andre Thornton with 4 homer and 13 RBI in 17 games. Neither team is really throwing the lumber at the ball. Year to date, 294 Fall League games. We're a little bit past the midpoint of this Fall League, which will wrap up around Super Bowl Sunday 2023. The league is hitting, check this out, 277 with a 4.35 ERA and a 150 WHIP. Those are outrageously high numbers, and I'm going to put that to some of these 1981 cards getting into the league in short sample sizes, ridiculous production out of a 350 hitting Joel Youngblood and a Jeff Leonard and Bo Diaz and Clint Hurdle and Kirk Gibson. There's some ridiculous cards in 1981 for offense, and it's just a lot more hitters in this era, in the late 70s, early 80s, than in the summer league I just finished. From 70 to 72 or 73, it's very much almost like a dead ball era in the early 70s, wasn't it? 71 was a nice year for the hitters. Of course, 1969 was an amazing year for the hitters, but 72, not so much. So we are seeing it this year. The summer league ERA was about 3.88, and the fall league ERA is over 40 points higher than that. How about that? That's it tonight. We'll give you the results of Game 4 and 5 if necessary, let you know who wins this series. Thanks for tuning in to the Game of the Week. We'll see you next time. Okay, baseball fans, here's the box of Game 3 with the Rick Waite's victory over Underwood, 2-1. So in Game 4 in Cleveland, trying to even this thing up and send it back to Detroit, we would have Jack Morris and the Tigers against Len Barker and the Indians. In the bottom of the second inning, Ron Hassey gets a solo homer. Ball game! There it is. Yeah, that's it. So I get solo homer for Ron Hassey, and really Rick Waite did a wonderful job in this game, or excuse me, Len Barker should say, did a wonderful job in this game. 9-hit shutout. 9 hits, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts in his complete game. Jack Morris gave up 3 hits besides that solo homer, gets a complete game loss. Tigers can't score a thing. They scored 1 run in both games. Terrible. So the Indians even the series, meaning that they'll remain in first place regardless of what happens back in Detroit in Game 5. And oh my goodness, folks, here is Game 5. Oh, Detroit, the woe of the Detroit Tigers. They cannot hit a ball in the you-know-what with a shovel, folks. That's how bad it is in Detroit right now. Cleveland gets an RBI single in the first from Lee Lacy. This team likes on base. Plenty of walks on the Harras and Hargroves and Hasseys of the world. So you get a walk here and load the base. A 2-base error by Jake Johnstone there. RBI double here. It's 4-1, and that's the way it goes. Yeah, that's all I could do. 1 run. All the Tigers can get. 2 runs in the last 3 games. I don't think a team scored 5 runs in this series. It's all low-scoring games, helping my league ERA. Appreciate that. But it is the Tribe. The Cleveland Indians, folks, 3 straight wins after being down 0-2, and the Detroit Tigers blew a giant opportunity to contend for this division title, and suddenly, here you go now. You see the Indians are 14-5. And you're your Tigers, 5 games back. And yeah, it's looking really good for Cleveland. They're getting some outstanding pitching. They've got some good on-base percentage in their offense and reasonable defense. And congratulations for the Indians being down 0-2. They win the series 3-2. Thanks for checking out the Baseball Game of the Week. We'll see you next time.